Alright, welcome to the video. In that intro sequence, we installed this new Eventuri intake from FCP Euro. We replaced the motor and trans mounts, which I actually didn't film because I got so frustrated by it, but this is the driver's side one. This is the passenger side one. You can tell that those definitely needed to be replaced. And then we did the trans mounts as well, which Alex said one of them he could wiggle by hand. So that should solve our clunk. Don't mind this, nothing to see here. That totally went back in the car. I took some camber out of the front as well because we were way cambered in the front. It had about 4 degrees. And we're gonna drop it down for the first time. Then we have to adjust the rear ride height. Then we take it for a ride. My man Alex is here, professional mechanic, making sure I'm staying safe. Alex, drop her down nice and slow. That's a brand new jack, so she should go nice and easy. Oh yeah. All right, let's see. Did I take too much camber? I think we're in business.
So far it looks good. I might want to let it settle before we make any final calls.
But that's much more flush than it was. Before it was like dumped in. That's way better. Very nice. All right, are you rolling?
I'm rolling.
All right, so great news. We had a solid clunk before when you would hit the throttle. Now, there still is a clunk, don't get me wrong. All the bushings in the rear probably need to be done too, which we'll do when we do the subframe. But listen to this. There's no more, Alex can attest, it literally made an audible ka-chunk when you put your foot into it now. Oh, it shifts so much better too.
I mean, I haven't driven it, but it feels like you can now drive it and like actually shift it hard without worrying about...
Do you hear the intake too?
I do hear it.
Oh, dude. Oh, we'll have to get some daytime reactions, but maybe we'll go do one pull and then we'll talk about it when there's light. Third gear, 4,000. Sounds real nice. It actually makes noise now. Yeah, I'm way more comfortable on the downshifts for sure.
It's like a new car.
All right, I'm going for second. So as you saw at the beginning of this video, we installed new engine mounts. I did the Revshift mounts, which were awesome because you can pull the pins out. If you don't know, to get the motor mounts in this car, it's 2 bolts, one on the top and the bottom, and then you jack the motor up to create space to pull the motor mount out. The old one always comes out easy because it's compressed and old. The new ones usually are really difficult to get in, but Revshift actually, you can pull the studs out of it, so the mount just slides in, then you just thread the stud into it, and you're in business. I think it's an awesome design. Anyway, we did that in the OE feel, so it's poly, but it's very soft poly. And then we did just OE trans mounts. I forget what company they're from, I'll put them on the screen. That has changed the car immensely. And this Eventuri intake, while it isn't a carbon airbox, if you guys didn't know, in order to do a carbon airbox on these cars, what you have to do is either convert the car to map, which requires a different tune, or you do alpha N. And I didn't want to do that. I don't really want to tune this car. I'm kind of worried at 344,000 miles, if I push too much strain through everything, that things won't end well. So but man, this thing makes some awesome noises. Let me It did not make any noises like that before. And I have to say, this was one of the best sounding E46 M3s I've ever heard. Mostly because you can't hear the exhaust. We do have exhaust mods planned for it. I have them sitting in my basement. They've been sitting there for like 3 months. I just haven't done them. But really excited for that. Let's get some AC because it is toasty in here. The other downside to the carbon airbox, while I'm sure it's louder, the carbon airbox is $2,500. The Eventuri is a little bit over 1,000. Got a dog that doesn't like going on the highway. I think I'm filming a video right now. The other big benefit to these motor and trans mounts is you guys have seen me in previous videos complain about how I can't get the rev match to second right. It turns out that it wasn't so much my inability to drive, although you're welcome to think that if you want to. It was more so that it was hard to get it into second. I was struggling to get it into second. I thought I was struggling to rev match, but really it's, I mean, this is third to second now. Right in. And it sounds so good. I can't imagine what it sounds like a carbon air box. I mean, so what I was saying was, this is $1,000 versus the carbon air box, which starts at like 2,500-ish, and then you gotta get it tuned, and you gotta do your conversion, stuff like that. This is literally plug, play, and go, and the install is cake. It's a little expensive, but I honestly think if you buy it, and then eventually you go to sell your car, you could probably take it back off the car and get most of your money back selling it privately for a little bit of a discount. I mean, you'll take something of a hit, but I don't think it's like writing off $800 or whatever. I'm really happy with the way it sounds, and it's actually livened up this car a lot. Like, I find myself wanting to drive the car a lot more. That's not me saying that I love the car. My buddy Alex is watching this video saying, oh, he loves it, he loves it. I don't love the car, but it's much more entertaining to drive. I said it was so boring before. Tunnel. Not a long tunnel. The trick is finding places where you can rip on it and hear the intake, but not hear the rasp coming out of the exhaust. So we have a fix for that. It will be fine. I think, I hope, I pray. It's a S54, there's really no fix for it. But overall, super satisfied with this. Starting to actually want to drive this car instead of before where I thought it was a total turd and boring. Between the coilovers, the fact that it actually looks half decent rolling down the road, and then these new motor trans mounts and the intake, I mean, it's coming together. Everyone who's driven this car doesn't believe it has 344,000 miles on it, and everyone who, like, I've gone to local meets or whatever, and I play guess the mileage with people, the lowest guess last Thursday was 80,000, the highest guess was 180,000. I have almost double that, 344, 361 in the car right now. So that is just wild. If you are new to the channel, make sure to head on back, watch a couple of the old E46 videos. This is a mostly Audi focused channel, but I do have some good E46 content. We have a couple more videos coming on the E46, and if you're an Audi person just hanging out, or if you're a car person in general, thanks for watching. Go out there and spread some positivity, and I will catch you guys in the next video.